So first of all, how to remember the standard angles. Okay. So when we take trigonometric ratios, I know that if you type on the calculator, then you get all those values. But without using calculator also, we can remember some of the values like 0 degrees, I mean to say sine 0, then sine 30, then sine 45, sine 60, sine 90 degrees. Not only sine values, even cosine, I'll say cos 0, let me try a line here. Okay. Let me move this one a little down. Maybe here. Then tan values. So first I'll explain only the sine part, then I'll explain how to remember the rest of the things. How to remember the cos values and tan values too. Like if you would like to know what is the value of sine 0, okay, I'm going to explain how to remember sine 0, cos 0, tan 0, likewise sine 30, cos 30, tan, and so on. Okay, so just give me a minute. Let me finish drawing the table. Right. So I want you to think of numbers from 0. My bad. So think of number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure it's very easy to remember because you have to start writing from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And make all of them as fractions by taking the denominator 4. This is the ground rule. Take all denominators 4. All the denominators as 4. Now, assume that there is a square root. There is a square root for every fraction. That's it. You get all the sign values. So let me compute what is 0 divided by 4. 0 divided by 4. Any value, if any fraction, if the numerator is 0, the entire value will be 0. So square root of 0, then what's the answer means? It's going to be 0. Next, 1 over 4. Can I write the given fraction in the lowest terms? Means already 1 over 4 itself is in the lowest terms. So then what is square root of 1 over 4 means? Square root 1, it is just 1. Square root 4, it is 2. Now 2 over 4. Is this in the simplest form or not? Obviously no. 2 over 4 is not in its simplest form. I can divide both the numerator and denominator by 2. So just I'm doing some mental calculation. So if I do that, 2 divided by 2, then I'll get 1, and 4 divided by 2, that gives me 2. But I should not forget the square root. So what is square root 1? It is square root 1 is just 1. And what is square root 2? I don't want to write them in decimal, so let it be a square root 2. Next, the next fraction is 3 over 4. Is it in the simplest form? Yes, it is. It is in the simplest form. Then, can I divide 3 and 4 by any number means? Obviously no. So, what is square root of 3? I don't want to express in decimal, so let it be square root 3. What is square root 4? It is 2. Now, the last fraction is 4 over 4. So 4 over 4, that gives me 1. Square root of 1 equals to 1. Now, these are the values of sine. These are the values of sine. So what is sine 0 means that is equals to 0. What is sine 30? It is 1 over 2 or half. What is sine 45? 1 over root 2. What is sine 60? Root 3 over 2. What is sine 90? 1. So if you want to get these values, is it necessary to write all these values every time? Means the answer is no. There is one shortcut. There is one shortcut. Actually, I prefer to remember this way. Just give me a moment. Yeah, let me copy my. Okay, okay. Actually, when I was in college, I used to count the numbers or fractions or the trig values on my fingers this way. I know that the first finger indicates 0 degrees, then the next one is 30 degrees, and next one is 45 degrees, next one is 60 degrees, then this one is 90 degrees. And I remember that my fraction starts with 0 over 4. My first fraction starts with 0 over 4. And my next fraction is, oh, let me use a different color, maybe blue would be better. Yeah, so my first fraction is 0 over 4, which is under the square root. And my second fraction is 1 over 4 under the square root, then 2 over 4 under the square root, and then 3 over 4 and 4 over 4 is the last one. This is how, of course, I never wrote on my fingers, but suppose if someone asked me what is the value of sine 90, so quickly I used to think like 0 over 4, 1 over 4, 2 over 4, 3 over 4, 4 over 4. Well, the last finger is sine 90, therefore that gives me 4 over 4, that is 1 square root of 1, so the answer is 1. Well, let's say that if I have to remember what is the value of sine 60 means, I used to think, okay, 0 degrees. Well, then I don't want 0 degrees, I don't want 30, I don't want 45, I want 60. So this is the finger I have to think of, that is 60 degrees. Okay, actually when you practice this one, really it is very, you enjoy that. So my thumb is 0 over 4, my indicating finger is 1 over 4, then 2 over 4, then 3 over 4. Well, what is square root of 3 over 4? So square root of 3, it is square root 3, and square root 4, that is 2. Therefore sine 60 equals to root 3 over 2. This is how I memorized. Suppose if you want to find sine 45, so please remember we are we are not considering this finger, we are not considering this one, because 0, 30, 45, I know which finger I have to take exactly. So of course, I'm sorry to say that I have to take the middle finger. Therefore, 0 over 4, then 1 over 4, then 2 over 4. Well, can I simplify 2 over 4? Yes. Then next to it is 1 over 2. And what is square root of 1 over 2 means square root of 1 and square root of 2. So this is going to be my sine 45. This is how I compute using my 5 fingers. Well, now going back to the previous page, let's say that whatever the sign values are there, let's say that I'm able to use my all the 5 fingers, and I can remember and I can write all these values. Okay, now writing cos values are very, very, very easy. That is, whatever the sign values are there, and if you are writing backwards, those all are cos values. What? What? Come again? Whatever the values you are having, like, sine 90, I know it is 1. So, instead of 90, I have to put here cos 0. Like, I repeat, whatever the values are there, you have to write backwards. You have to write backwards so that cost table will be filled. I mean to say that my first value is 0, so let me put it here. Then my next value 1 over 2. Don't get confused. Don't get confused. See, I'm writing this one here. I'm writing 0 here. Then 1 over 2. I'm writing here. So the next one is. I hope you see that this is my first value. So I copy it here. Next one is 1 over 2. Let me copy here. The next value is 1 over root 2. Okay. The next value is root 3 over 2. And the last value is 1. That will be my first value in cost list. Okay. Just write the sign values backwards. Then you are done. And you get all the cost values. As simple as that. And next, when it comes to tan values, tan is actually, we obtain the value of tan sine divided by cos. Sine divided by cos, that gives you tan. So, let me divide. So 0 is going to be my numerator, 1 is going to be my denominator. So 0 over 1, that gives me 0. Therefore, tan 0 is 0. Next, 1 over 2 divided by root 3 over 2. I would say that simply you cancel. I see that 1 over 2 divided by root 3 over 2, and simply you cancel both the denominators. Both the denominators means, I mean to say that 2 and 2, because they are the same. If you want, you do simple mathematics. 1 over 2, and we take the division means reciprocal. Reciprocal means that is 2 over 3. I mean 2 over root 3, then 2 and 2 they gets cancelled and you are left with 1 over root 3. So instead of doing all these jugglery part, just straight away drop the denominators, So straight away you can take 1 over root 3. You know, any value divided by the same value, we get 1. Like 5 divided by 5, that gives me 1. 7 divided by 7, that gives me 1. 10 divided by 10, that gives me 1. So here, as I told you before, tan means it is sine divided by cos. Sine divided by cos. Therefore, 1 over square root 2 divided by 1 over square root 2. Just now I discussed that any number divided by itself gives me 1. And next one is everywhere we have to take tan means sine over cos. So this is my numerator and this is my denominator. As I told you before, just you can drop the denominators. I see that both numerator and denominator, these are having 2 as their denominators. So if you drop them, then it is root 3 over 1. But you know that denominator 1, it has no value. So tan 60 is going to be root 3. Next, 1 over 0. As you know that 1 over 0, that is not defined. By the way, tan 90 you will never get while solving the problems. Okay. So first of all, you have to practice how to remember sign values. How to remember the sign values. Once again, I'm repeating. Let me go to a fresh page. Then just a moment. Yeah. So let me copy paste the hand again. So first, if you practice all the sign values, like suppose if I ask you to find what is the value of sine, say sine 60, so quickly you have to take your fingers, okay, 0 degrees, no, I want 60 degrees, so do I want 30? No. Do I want 45? No. Do I want 60 degrees? Yes, I want. So my first fraction starts with 0 over 4. My second one is 1 over 4. Next one is 2 over 4. And my next finger is 3 over 4. And I have to assume that there is a square root. So what is square root of 3 over 4. So square root 3, we don't know, and square root 4, it is 2. Therefore, sine 60 equals to root 3 over 2. Once when you practice this way, what happens is, first of all, you can learn all these sine values. You master sine values, not anything else. Once when you master this one, then what happens is, remember, sine is this direction, this direction. Once when you learn all the sine values, the same thing, then for cos values, you'll be going backwards. So that's it. Only thing is, it comes only through practice. Okay.